good, y'all? Welcome back to The Hood Nurse, where we're bridging the gap between the hood and the hospital. I'm your host, Mad Hatter. This episode, we're going to head down to the National Dialysis Medical School and chop it up with Tad Beatty. We're going to chop it up with Tad about how to get into the school, a little bit about the school, and how to keep my hood folks from needing dialysis, you feel me? So during the show, y'all listen up for that word dialysis as we break it down for y'all. Y'all keep it locked. What's good, y'all? Welcome back to The Hood Nurse. It's your boy, Mad Hatter. I'm sitting here chilling at the National Dialysis School of Medicine with my man, Tad Beatty. We're going to chop it up with Tad, ask him a couple of questions about the school, and see if we can provide y'all with some quality information, you know what I'm saying, about the school and about dialysis. So, Tad, thank you for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it, man. We're going to get right into it. So why did you choose to get into the medical field, sir?
That's a great question. I think I defaulted into the medical field. And I think that I really had no idea what I wanted to do with my life for a long time. I hopped around to a whole bunch of different jobs and realized that education was the only way for me to kind of get forward with what I'm doing. And I worked in the mall. I worked a bunch of different jobs. And then I kind of defaulted. A friend of mine had a job open at his clinic for prosthetics and orthotics. So I went and made prosthetics and orthotics for a couple of years and kind of learned a little bit about the medical field. Then I took a job with a bigger company doing the same thing and was able to go back to school, get my master's degree. Then I got promoted to an area manager within that company. And then I got into dialysis because during my master's program, they taught me about a large dialysis company that was really struggling financially and how someone came in and turned it around and made it into something great. And so the business side of that story is what got me interested in the dialysis field. So I'm much more on the business side to see what I can do to make something that's small really big or something that's not that great really great. And so that's how I got to where I am so far.
Okay. So you got a whole bunch of a great deal of experience in the medical field. Why was it exactly, what was it about dialysis that just grabbed a hold of you and said, I need to do this?
There was a position open and I was like, okay, I'll take that position. I wanted to get into dialysis because of that story.
Right.
I like dialysis because it's a completely different type of patient population. Like most of the time in the medical field, they come and see the doctor and they see you once a year or a dentist or whoever, and you don't get to know the patient at all.
Right.
In the dialysis field, the person comes in for treatment, for 4 hours a day, 3 days a week,
right,
and you get to know them like family. And you can really see changes in their life improving over time by how you manage, right? How you manage the relationship, how you manage your staff, how they manage people, the culture that you create or the environment that you create inside the clinic, all has an impact on the quality of that person's life going forward. So the person with kidney disease, most of them crash, they call it crashing into the hospital. It's kind of like having a heart attack. You go into the hospital because you have chest pain. Well, all of a sudden something's wrong. You go into the hospital and you realize your kidneys have failed.
Right.
And from that day forward, you're now living 3 days a week for 4 hours a day inside a dialysis clinic. Your life is flipped completely upside down. And a lot of people struggle with the mental hurdle it is to change a lifestyle that much.
Right.
So in the first year of dialysis, people feel cared for because there's so much attention on them in the beginning. They feel like they're getting the attention they need, they're getting care, they're still alive. That's an important aspect.
Very much so.
But after that, they begin to kind of, I think, and I'm speaking in very general terms, but they kind of get frustrated that now they have to be there.
Right.
And it becomes a chore that they have to do. They can't get away from it anymore. So then they start missing treatments, which lowers their quality of life, it lowers their health, lowers their lifespan. And so I don't remember what the question is, but I went down a road that told a story about the patients in dialysis. So I think, why did I get into dialysis? I think I kind of defaulted there, but I'm staying there because I like seeing what can be done to improve somebody's life through the process.
That's dope. Can you give us a brief description of what dialysis is?
Yeah, so dialysis basically is when your kidneys fail. So what your kidneys do is they process the waste out of your bloodstream. So whatever you drink and eat all day long, whatever you eventually becomes urine and you pee it out into the toilet, that is the waste product in your blood, and your kidneys are responsible for filtering that out. When your kidneys stop working, you're unable to pee, or you pee much less, and then your body literally swells up with water. right? And so if your body swells up too much with water, your organs shut down and you just die.
Indeed.
So if you have kidney failure and you are not on dialysis, you will not live very long unless you have a certain percentage of renal function or kidney function to get the waste out of your body naturally. Most people at end-stage renal disease, they don't have that function. They have it so little that's why they have to go in. So the machines in the dialysis clinic literally go into your arm, and they filter your blood through a machine and back into your arm, and it's taking that waste or that urine, for lack of a better term, out of your body so that it doesn't just build up in your body.
Right. Can you tell us what the steps a cat from the hood can take to get into the National Dialysis Medical School?
It's very easy. You have to have a high school diploma or GED.
Okay.
You have to be 18 years or older. And you have to be in it for the right reasons. So our school, you have to pass an interview, an oral interview like this, so that we know that you can talk to the patients, that you can read and dissect what's written in kind of a medical script, a very simple notes from the doctor, or am I understanding what the doctor is saying the way doctor intends it to? And then we have a very basic entrance exam that has reading comprehension, math, some basic stuff. So if you pass the test and you pass the oral interview, and you have a high school education and you're over 18, that's all you need to get into the entry-level medical field in dialysis.
Word. So what are some of the things that people can do from the hood to prevent from needing dialysis?
Kind of like I touched on earlier, the biggest thing is diet and exercise. You know, we hear it all over the television, every single magazine we read in the grocery store line, any health expert, any dietitian, physical therapist, anyone who cares about their health in the slightest bit talks about diet and exercise. And those are the biggest things. In our society today, so many people have a lethargic lifestyle. Like they sit in a cubicle and they commute to this city or that city or whatever. I mean, I'm talking about my own life, right? I commute 3 hours a day. I sit in the car, I get home, and I don't feel like doing any exercise, you know? And so it's hard, but every now and then I peel myself off the couch and go for a run. Make sure I can still do it. That's not enough, but if you're asking me how to avoid it, do a little more than I'm doing, you know? Go for a walk every day. Eat something, eat greens, and don't go to McDonald's. Don't eat fast food. You know, just avoid it. I mean, if you think that healthcare is expensive, it is. But it's a lot cheaper to eat healthy food, which is a little more expensive, right? So if you hit it on the front end and you're buying good, healthy food and learning to cook right and consume those vegetables and all the vitamins that you need, then you'll be a lot healthier later on and your medical bills won't be near as much.
Real. And you'll be taking a lot less pills, believe me, because I'm dishing out pills like candy at work. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, look, check it out. This is my man, Tad Beatty. I am Mad Hatter, the Hood Nurse. I appreciate y'all, you know what I'm saying, taking the time to watch the show. Y'all keep it locked.